Ash, do you believe in God? Not sure. I was never too sure, myself. Well, I'm sure I never really questioned it as a kid. Same. I was taught it like it was fact. But as I grew up, the more I learned about the world, the more I would question it. I started to wonder why God was helping people pass exams or get over a cold, when there are children who live their lives being sold as sex slaves. That's one that's interesting for a kid to think about. The 800 million people who are too poor to even eat. I wonder how many of those people pray to God every day until they starve and die. Or how many millions of families pray for a loved one to recover from some incurable disease. But the punchline is this. If just one person beats the odds and survives among the thousands of others who die, then it's suddenly a miracle from God. I'd really love to meet this God who seemingly laughs at the misery of everyone not eligible for his miracles. But the irony is that I do have a creator, apparently. And you know what? I bet he's still laughing at the miserable fates of Sayori and Yuri even as we speak. What are we to him but props in a scripted play? So, from that perspective, I don't think it's too far-fetched for there to be a God, if Earth was nothing but its playset. Huh. I have heard that before. There's a theory that basically the world is sort of like a sim. A game of Sims. You know, this is just some kind of tacky romance game, right? Yeah, supposedly. I kinda have to ask, what made you consider even playing in the first place? Were you that lonely? I was recording. I am recording. I feel a little bad for you. But I guess everything worked out perfectly in the end, for both of us. I got to meet you, and you're not lonely anymore. I can't help but feel like this was fate. That's what Yuri said. Don't you feel that way too? I'm not sure I even believe in fate. I'm so happy we have this ending together. I'm glad I had breakfast before this. I almost ended the video at Yuri's death. That probably would have been a good idea. Might split this into 2 parts anyway. I wanted to see all of Natsuki's stuff. That sucks. Gosh, I used to be so ignorant about certain things. When I was in middle school, I thought that taking medication was an easy way out or something like that. Like anyone could just solve their mental problems with enough willpower. I guess if you don't suffer from mental illness, it's not possible to know what it's really like. Are there some disorders that are overdiagnosed? Probably. I never really looked into it though. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of them go undiagnosed too, you know? Yep. But medication aside, people even look down on seeing a mental health professional. Like, sorry that I want to learn more about my own mind, right? Everyone has all kinds of struggles and stresses, and professionals dedicate their lives to helping with those. If you think it could help you become a better person, don't be shy to consider something like that. I already do, but thanks. We're on a never-ending journey to improve ourselves, you know? Well, I say that, but I think you're pretty perfect already. Oh, thank you. Monika's so pretty, the way the bow seems to be always moving. Not moving, but like, it's just stayed up as if there's a wind. Back in my debate club days, I learned a whole lot about arguing. The problem with arguing is that each person sees their opinion as the superior one. That's kind of stating the obvious, but it affects the way they try to get their point across. Let's say you really like a certain movie, right? If someone comes along and tells you the movie sucks because it did X and Y wrong, doesn't that make you feel kind of personally attacked? It's because by saying that, it's like they're implying that you have bad taste. And once emotions enter the picture, it's almost guaranteed that both people will be left sour. But it's all about language. If you make everything as subjective sounding as possible, then people will listen to you without feeling attacked. You could say, I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I'd like it more if it did X and Y. Things like that. It even works when you're citing facts about things. If you say, I read this on this website that works like this, then it works like whatever. Or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. If you put in an active effort to keep the discussion mutual and level, they usually follow suit. Then, you can share your opinions without anyone getting upset just from a disagreement. Plus, people will start seeing you as open-minded and a good listener. It's a win-win, you know? Well, I guess that would be Monika's debate tip of the day. Aw, that sounds a little silly. Thanks for listening, though. Just thinking, I was really hoping to be able to hear Monika's piano music, but I bet that's the theme of Doki Doki Literature Club. Can I look at the history? Ah, I can. That's really cool. Good. Nice. I really like the sound of rain. Not so much getting my clothes and hair wet, though, but a nice quiet day at home with the sound of rainfall outside my window. It's one of the most calming experiences for me. Do you like the scent of rain too? Yeah. Sometimes I imagine you holding me while we listen to the sound of the rain outside. It's not too cheesy or anything, is it? Would you ever do that for me, Ash? I don't know, I've never done that before, with anyone. I'm about halfway through this, apparently. I can't help but feel a little sad sometimes, knowing this is the closest I can get to you. There's nothing more I want than to be in the same room as you, for real, and to feel your warmth. We could play video games together, and to hear the sound of your heartbeat. Well, who knows, maybe it'll be possible someday. Besides, I'll never get tired of being with you, even from here. Hey, what's your favourite game? Mine is Doki Doki Literature Club. That was a joke. But if you tell me you like some other romance game better, I might get a little jealous. I don't really go for romance games generally, although I do have Hatful Boyfriend just because it's funny. Ash, do you get good sleep? Not usually. It can be really hard to get enough sleep nowadays. Especially in high school when you're forced to wake up so early every day. I'm sure college is a little bit better since you probably have a more flexible schedule. Then again, I hear a lot of people in college stay up all night anyway for no real reason. Is that true? Anyway, I saw some studies that talked about the horrible short-term and long-term effects caused by lack of sleep. It seems like mental functions, health, and even lifespan can be dramatically impacted by it. I just think you're really great and wanted to make sure you're not accidentally destroying yourself. So try to keep your sleep on track, okay? I'm on sleeping pills. I'll always wait for you in the morning, so make sure you put your own well-being before anything else. Do you still need sleep? I hate how hard it is to form habits. There's so much stuff where actually doing it isn't hard, but forming the habit seems impossible. It just makes you feel so useless, like you can't do anything right. I think the new generation suffers from it the most. Probably because we have a totally different set of skills than those who came before us. Thanks to the internet, we're really good at sifting through tons of information really quickly. But we're bad at doing things that don't give us instant gratification. I think if science, psychology, and education don't catch up in the next 10 or 20 years, then we're in trouble. But for the time being, if you're not one of the people who can conquer the problem, you might just have to live with that. Live with feeling awful about yourself. Good luck, I guess. Okay, everyone. What? It's time to... I'm just kidding. I just used to really like saying that for some reason. I couldn't help but say it again. Come to think of it, didn't Atsuki and Yuri make fun of it for me once? I think so. Well, whatever. It's not like you ever made fun of me. You're too much of a sweetheart to do that, aren't you? It's a good way to easily get into a voice. A door is closed in my house. I'm alone in my house other than cats. I'm hoping there's a wind outside.